Boilermakers split a pair of games this past week, beating Southeast Missouri on Wednesday 83-57, and then yesterday losing a heartbreaker in Minneapolis to the Gophers 60-58. Purdue now 6-4 on the season, and after the players take final exams this week, they'll get another test on Sunday, taking on the 14th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. That'll be up in South Bend for a noon tip-off. Good evening, everybody. It is the Katie Gearlds Show. We're live here at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union. We'll be talking with the head coach until the top of the hour. Also, a little bit later on in the program, we'll have Lakan Hasser-Smith. She is the director of video and the recruiting assistant for the women's basketball team. And we'll talk about Boilermaker basketball right up until 8 o'clock. Again, you can not only tune in tonight here on Bob FM, but also you can watch us on the Purdue Athletics site on Facebook. And if you have any questions or just want to let us know where you're watching, please do, and we'll give you a shout-out tonight. We'll have the head coach when we come back. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Purdue on the perimeter now. Terry driving a little bit. Kicks out for three. Got it. McKenna Layden with the three.
And this is the benefit for the Boilermakers playing with a lead like this, is they're able to get into their offensive set and work through it and make good use of the shot clock.
Harper sinks the three. Ellis trying to drive to that left side. Kicks it out. Here's the three. Bang! From the corner. So Purdue, here's the three. Just off front iron. Good offensive rebound. Puts it up, and the foul. Three-point play.
The freshman doing it on both ends of the floor. The defensive rebound. Back-to-back buckets for the Redhawks were on the other end. The Boilermakers are 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Looking to change that now. Gets the foul and one.
Layden said, I'll see your scoring drought now raise you. A nice little kiss off the glass there.
So now, here's Terry again for three. Got it. Madison Layden, another three.
13 points to go along with 4 rebounds.
And now she pulls a steal, and here comes Purdue for three. Ellis, got it. Nothing but nylon.
The Redhawks continue to struggle from the floor.
Stevenson looking for three. Got it. Gave Madison Layden too much space.
SEMO putting together their best offensive setup of the evening.
And give Terry the ball back out to Harper. And now for three, they knock it down again. Madison Layden. Mid-range two, no good. Terry pulls down the rebound again. Good feed up to Stevenson, who goes up strong. And it's a rebound and assist for Terry, and 2 more for Stevenson.
Yeah, Jalea Green went right at Mary Ashley Stevenson.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. And everyone needs a little playing time. So before a Purdue basketball game or anytime throughout the week, stop here by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. You can tell, Katie, it's final exams week, because I'm walking past students on campus, and they have that blank look in their face, like they don't know what day of the week it is, probably don't know what time of the day it is. They're studying, and they want to get out of here and head home for the holidays.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, kids have a day off. We'll practice tomorrow, do some small workouts on Wednesday, practice on Thursday, and then start to prep for Notre Dame.
Let's talk first about Southeast Missouri, because that was a game on Wednesday night, an 83-57 win, and an opportunity again for you to play a lot of different players. We talked after the game. Janae Terry does a lot of unusual things statistically. 10 rebounds, 11 assists, another double-double without double-figure points. That's pretty rare these days. First time this year it's been done in women's college basketball.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's rare these days, except for Janae. It's just kind of what we come to expect. She always rebounds the ball pretty well for us, and then when we're able to knock down some shots, it gets her assists up there pretty quickly.
I have to give a nugget. I know Blackman does those nuggets here on the Matt Painter Show before. This is a statistical nugget. Janae Terry is one of only 2 players in Big Ten history with 800 rebounds, 600 assists, and 200 steals. The other one's an Iowa guard, not Caitlin Clark. It's Samantha Logic. She has that same distinction. Now, Caitlin Clark will probably get that in the next couple of weeks. She has a few more rebounds to get. she is a stat stuffer, and she's somebody, again, that when she's playing well, sees the floor incredibly well.
Yeah, you know, sometimes well, not sometimes, you wish she'd be a little bit more offensive-minded and looking for her own stuff. It would help our ball club. You know, it helps our ball club. It just puts pressure on the other team's defense when she does do that. But just a unique player who sees the floor really, really well. A better athlete than she looks because she can jump high and has pretty good timing and toughness around the board. So, you know, she's played a lot of minutes in what, now her 5th year.
Yeah.
You know, really, really cool stat for her.
Actually, came close to doing it again yesterday. Had 15 rebounds and what, 9 assists? Yeah,
yep,
1 assist short. If she would have gotten one more assist, and we'll talk about that game in just a second. Back to Wednesday night, though, again, you were able to get a lot of different players some playing time. We're seeing Sophie Swanson, I think, get more and more comfortable trying to work her way back from that ACL injury. But you can see in the brief bit she's been on the floor the offensive abilities she has.
Yeah, you know, she's just a tough-minded kid. And, you know, I know we're not talking about Minnesota yet, but like we wish we would have been able to find some minutes for her, just the kind of the way the flow of the game goes. But she's just got to keep working, you know, stay at practice, you know, understanding the plays, getting the defensive end. And her time is coming, and when she does, she's going to be a big punch for us.
We've talked all season long about the need to protect the home court, and I thought you really took care of business. Very workmanlike performance on Wednesday night from start to finish.
Yeah, good, you know, SEMO had played some teams pretty well, and we knew they were going to be a mix of Dayton, just with some athletes, and I thought we did a good job with scout and prep, and came out and you know, had a pretty good game for 4 quarters.
You then had to prepare for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and these December games are unique, and the men play them, the women's basketball teams have to play them, because if you're going to squeeze all these games into a schedule, how difficult is it to go? And every game's important, but when you go, you're in the middle of your non-conference season, now you got to prepare for a conference game or 2 sometimes. How difficult is it?
You know, I think, you know, with the young team, you know, getting them to understand the magnitude of a Big Ten game is crucial, but at the same time, you know, we've got 5 returners who understood, you know, what yesterday meant, and still understand what it means. But, you know, we say it all the time. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's the one game. We've got 17 other Big Ten games, and we're just going to have to make sure we're taking care of business.
We'll talk about the Minnesota game in the next segment, but going on the road, a little bit different mentality. You talked about having to create your own energy. You've been away from home in a couple of neutral site games, a couple of road games. How do you feel you've done in that regard this season?
So. I thought our start at Dayton was really good. Obviously, UCLA and the Bahamas could have been a little bit better for us, but great start at Dayton. Kind of kept the crowd out of it. And then, you know, it was a 7-7 first quarter for both teams. And I thought we withstood, you know, the energy of the crowd that the Barn gave the young Minnesota team. We just weren't able to put it away.
By the way, going back to that UCLA game to start the season, I think the rest of the nation has found out now how good UCLA is. They're number 2 in the country, undefeated, and now they're everybody's pick to go to the Final Four.
Yeah, you knew it as soon as we played them. I think if we play them now, we don't lose the way we did. I think we understand the makeup of our team a lot better, and our kids understand, you know, what they're supposed to do out there. But yeah, they're the real deal.
All right, when we come back, we'll have more of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Layden over to Smith. Mary Ashley Stevenson from the outside knocks it down and gets one to go after missing her first 3 from outside, with a freshman Ayanna Johnson checking into the game. Higher now switches on to Caitlin Harper. Backdoor cut. Ellis finishes at the rim. Nice job from her moving without the basketball. Find Janae Terry on the backside. Entry pass is tipped, and Harper corrals it falling down. Gets the pass off. Backside corner, Layden fires and knocks down a 3. Entry pass to Harper, off her hands once again, can't corral it, fires it outside, and another one goes down. Madison Layden came with 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're looking just to get on level terms here, down 3, 31-28, 6 minutes left. As Madison Layden drills that one from mid-range, and it's just a 1-point game. Janae Terry over to Madison Layden. That stroke is pure. She hits another one, her third 3 of the second half.
Getting the energy energy from this home crowd is so important, especially in these close Big Ten games.
Layden answers that one with a triple and says, yeah, let's make it a little bit quieter in here. This second half, 16 points and 4 triples from beyond. Layden over to Smith, Terry with it, backdoor cut, not to her, Harper with it. Terry gets a screen, pulls it from deep. At the buzzer, she knocks down a 3, and that'll do it for the third quarter of action. Janae Terry always want and need to score, but she says, whenever my shot's there, I'm gonna take it. Good defense all game, very tight guard. Graholski gets the move, the defender slips inside, blocked. Good defense from Caitlin Harper. Terry, 6 seconds on the shot clock, attacking, inside, kicks it out. Mary Ashley Stevenson, mid-range jumper, got it. They needed that one, and it's back to a one-possession game.
Want to say hello to folks watching on Facebook tonight. Ira, our good friend in Swamico, Wisconsin, where he says the frozen tundra is living up to its name. Brent from 12 Mile, Amy is in Kokomo, and John is in Littlestown, Pennsylvania. He's got a question about turnovers that we'll get to a little bit later on. All right, you go up to Minnesota. You mentioned it. I thought I was doing the football game all of a sudden. After the first quarter, it was a 7-7 game, so both teams with touchdowns and extra points. You know, your offense struggled in the first quarter. They were 3 of 23 in the first quarter. I mean, it was, do you think it was good defense, or do you think it was just bad shooting in that first quarter?
I thought they guarded us well. I thought they missed a lot of shots. I think we locked in finally there after that first quarter. I thought we were a little bit better defensively in what we were trying to do. But 23 shots in one quarter. We did not do a good job of finishing plays. I think at halftime they were 10 for 41, and we had only taken 25 or 26 shots. So they'd taken like 16 more shots than we did at halftime. And was it John's question about turnovers? It was obviously the turnovers. We weren't getting shots up, but they had 12 offensive rebounds in the first half, 10 second chance points. Those are things that are, sometimes the ball bounces bad or whatnot, but not this time. That first half, Minnesota just wanted it more than we did, and that was disheartening because I don't think that's our ball club. It hasn't been our ball club, and it was that for that first half.
They didn't kill you on second chance points, but what they did with those offensive rebounds was prevent you from getting out and getting into transition because, it was a little bit like down in the Bahamas when you felt like, like the Florida game, you had to get out in transition to try to get some easy baskets yesterday.
Yeah, we knew we needed to get out just because Minnesota was actually pretty stingy in the half court defensively. I mean, they played UConn really well in the half court, but it was UConn's ability to own the glass and get out in the open floor that kind of helped put that game away. And it really wasn't until the second half when they don't get an offense rebound until like the last minute and a half. We had a 4-point lead. They get an offense rebound, put back, and then their last possession that tied it was an offense rebound, like a dead ball rebound that went out of bounds. So those were their 2 offense rebounds, were 4 second chance points that if we just grab them, the game is ours.
You're down 25-18 in the locker room at halftime. Now, 25 points defensively is a pretty good effort against anybody. 18 points, not so much. What was the message, and what changed in that third quarter where you scored 25 points?
Yeah, I know you're pretty high up there in the rafters of the barn.
Yeah.
I'm not. Did you hear me? I laid in pretty good. I was talking to the staff and I was like, give me a second, and I just went in there by myself, and I don't do that very often. It's not really my nature. But some things needed to be said, and our group responded. Tim, I was so hot, like I could see the spit coming out of my own mouth, right? Like, but our group responded, and now it's just like my job and our job as a staff to figure out how to get that fire lit at the opening tip and not wait until it's too late.
Well, I'll tell you what, that transferred to the other bench in the third quarter because Minnesota was right down below where I was, and Dawn took a timeout. Dawn Plitzowite. She was wearing a red blouse, and her face matched. I think it exceeded the color of her blouse. I don't know what she was saying, but it was really nasty, whatever it was.
Yeah, Dawn's a really good coach, and she's done a really good job in a short amount of time. Obviously, her time at 1 year at West Virginia and then South Dakota. Another coach that started in the NAIA world, so got a lot of respect for Coach P.
So you're up 5 going into the fourth quarter. It's kind of going back and forth. And you mentioned, I thought you know, we're going to talk about the last possession, but you're up 57-53. They come down and take a 3 with about 1:10 to play. And Sophie Hart, who I thought really had a very solid game for them, gets the rebound and the putback. So instead of 4-point lead in the basketball where they got to foul you, now it's a 2-point game, and then it's back into that seesaw.
Yeah, tough rebound. I think Caitlin was in position to grab it, and I think, you know, I was even talking to her this afternoon. She said the way that she was trying to lean on her, she just kind of lost her balance and fell down, and it fell right into Sophie Hart's hands, and she put it back. But unfortunate for us. I think that possession, I'm trying to think what happened on that possession. We go down, and is that no, JT dribbled off her foot, or that was the next one.
Yeah, so that got it down to 57-55. I'm going to have to look it up. You know,
yeah,
you try to forget that stuff after. I know you don't as a coach because you got to go back over it.
But yeah, that was, that was. It
well,
was tough. We self-inflicted yesterday. Not to take anything from Minnesota, but very self-inflicted.
You know, the bottom line again, though, on their last possession, next to last possession where they score, Mara Braun almost loses her balance. I mean, her foot starts to slip. She just has to fire the ball up to avoid a travel, and she hits the shot from 10 feet.
Yeah, and she kind of goes like up and under. JT and Caitlin were involved a ball screen in the middle of the floor, and Caitlin does a good job of switching and getting to her right hand and making her come back to you know, to score over her right shoulder where she's not nearly as effective. And she made a really, really tough shot over and around Caitlin, kind of falling back. But Mara Braun can play. Got a lot of good experience last year with that team, and you know, she made a really, really tough shot for her team.
Then a tie game at the end. You've got the ball with 13 seconds. I just remember thinking, just get a good shot.
Yeah.
You just want if you get a good shot and miss it, you can kind of live with that. It's hard though when you don't get the shot and give the ball away.
You know, the last thing we said to him was like, just make sure we take the last shot, right? Like, don't give him an opportunity. I thought we got the look we wanted. You know, just a little safe inbounds play, get the ball to Abby. Sophie Hart was on MA, so it was a pin down for Madison into a ball screen, and we thought we could really, the way Hart guards ball screen sinks and you know, in drop coverage, thought we could get Mads a look, who was really good in the third quarter. You know, 16 points, didn't miss a shot in the third quarter. Thought it was a really, you know, everybody did what we were supposed to do until we didn't shoot it, and the rest was kind of history there.
And then you commit the foul, and that was kind of compounding the problem. When the whistle blew, I assumed that Minnesota had taken a timeout. I actually didn't see the foul from where I was, and all of a sudden, everybody starts walking to the end and cheering.
I think Angie was in front of our bench, and Sophie Hart's trying to call for a timeout, but McConnell's around the corner, and I think he sees JT. JT's trying to get in for a jump ball. You know, we've got to be obviously smarter in those situations, and you think a senior and a fifth-year senior just, you know, making those plays. But unfortunately for us, like it ended that way, but that's not why we lost. You know, if it goes to overtime, who knows what happens? But that the first half where we, you know, we were standing around, we were stagnant on the offensive end. We gave up 12 offensive rebounds. We lose Braun 3 times, and she gets 9 points off threes, just off of like kind of mental error breakdowns that we did a better job in the second half. But you know, it's unfortunate. You know, Mads goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line too. Another thing that it just a lot of things that just kind of went against us the way we didn't want it to do, but it did, and you know, we've got to find a way to respond from it.
All right, we need to take a break. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
8-zip for the Crimson Tide, who lost in the Sweet 16 to San Diego State last year. Trey Kaufman-Red hoists up a 3, and there is the first Purdue bucket.
That's a big one there for Trey Kaufman. Threes, 2 nothing but the bottom of the net.
There's a 3 for Lance Jones, and a foul!
Those are 2 perfect examples of that.
Edie got the screen, little flip from Smith, and it is 2 and a foul.
And this is kind of a new dynamic to this offense this season. Getting Edie in pick and roll with the way Braden Smith has played.
I'll tell you what, even the on-ball defense of Estrada. There's the lob, and there is Big Maple. And Purdue invites that type of shot.
No doubt.
There's the zip, and there's Edie the flush.
He just overwhelms you. You got who was the champion on the offensive glass, but that's kind of shifting over to Purdue.
Well, they tried to front Edie, and that was not a grand idea. We might hit triple digits in this ball game.
Good pass.
Jones and Smith dancing behind Edie. Smith pull up. That's pass.
He just took his time. Jones to the basketball, and Sears got a high-quality look.
Edie through two with an elbow and two.
This is just an incredible pass by Braden Smith. That little over the shoulder. Purdue puts you in a bind because of the way they shoot the basketball. And with Zach Edey rolling right down the middle of the lane.
So they're going to call it a three. Let's see if it stands. It was close. Off the Sears three. Smith hurrying down the lane. Bouncing for Edey in the wingspan. Eats it alive.
It's okay.
Braden Smith. Oh, he gave up the shot he took earlier, and Edey closes the deal.
Braden Smith making the perfect read on this play. Edey gets some contact and goes just right through that Alabama defense.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Lafayette Limo, family-owned, women-owned, serving Greater Lafayette for over 33 years. Shuttles to and from Indianapolis and O'Hare airports 365 days a year. Make your reservations now at LafayetteLimo.com. Lafayette Limo, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics. Little housekeeping here. We will have a show next Monday night at 7:10. That will be the last show of 2023. The next Katie Gearlds Show after next Monday will be January 22nd. So we've got a little bit of a gap there because of the holidays, and then we've got some basketball games that'll be in the way. We do, however, have a Ryan Walters show coming also on December 20th. We're going to talk about the recruiting class because that's the day that they can sign. You've been around a while. Losses come, wins come and go. Some are harder to shed. As a coach, how do you shed yesterday's game?
Haven't yet. Will tomorrow when we see our group, and we've got practice tomorrow at 11. You know, it's obviously you want to win all your games, and you fight and you do everything you can throughout the week to prepare. But you know, perfection is really hard to attain. We just try to chase it, and what happened Sunday can't happen again. We just got to get better.
As a is it harder to shed this as a player or as a coach? You've been through heartbreaking games. You've been through great wins. Is it harder to shake a loss like this as a player or as a coach?
As a coach, you just think about everything. Obviously, even as a player, like what else could you have done to win? But as a coach, you know, it almost seems like every decision is magnified, you know, to the nth degree. And you know, hindsight, like maybe we just go high on ball with Abby or Janae in the middle of the floor and just space everybody out and just make sure we're taking the last one. But, you know, maybe we blitz more ball screens. Do we press more? You know, our timeouts called at the right time. But you just, at the end of the day, you don't second guess yourself. You kind of have a really good friend who told me to trust my gut, and that's kind of the way we try to do it. And having Kelly, Mark, and Alex by my side, you know, feel really good. We just, you know, gotta make the plays, and unfortunately Minnesota made one more than we did.
You got to believe in what you do. I think the good news is you had some players out there. You said you got some experienced players, but you also had some like Mary Ashley Stevenson that are going through a Big Ten game and a game like that for the first time. That experience can only do them good going down the road.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Not just for her future, but you know, for the rest of the Big Ten year. You know, when we get into after Christmas and into January, February, when you know you kind of know what to expect. You know, in the Big Ten, you know, it's, you know, bottom line is you can't. Minnesota averages 80 points a game. We hold them to 60. But we give up 14 offensive rebounds, turn the ball over 19 times. You're not winning on the road in the Big Ten. I don't care who you're playing.
Back to Mary Ashley for a second. I think we've seen again that her style of play certainly has translated to the Big Ten. She's a player that's not going to shy away from the physicality, but she also has skills to play inside and outside.
Yeah, just got to get her to slow down a little bit. I think she's in a hurry. I think, you know, she's physical enough, and I think she's trying to jump into players, and as opposed to just scoring it without really needing the contact. You know, she's learning and growing, and I mean, she's got 11 rebounds in her first Big Ten game. The kid is all heart, all hustle, and she's just going to get better and better.
All right, those freshmen are also going through final exams at a university for the first time. So what is this week like, and when do you really get back in the practice court in earnest getting ready for Notre Dame?
Yeah, tomorrow will be a lot about us. Obviously, it can't be too mental just because they are in finals. Wednesday, we've got certain groups for about 45 minutes. We've got 3 or 4 groups for 45 minutes where they get some shots up and really some skill development. Thursday, we'll bring the team back together, and it'll be a light team shooting practice probably, and then we dig into Friday and Saturday with Notre Dame. But in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, we're working on us and how do we get better as a ball club.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Lakan Hasser-Smith. She is the director of video for the women's basketball team. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Purdue on the perimeter now. Terry driving a little bit. Kicks out for 3. Got it. McKenna Layden with the 3.
And this is the benefit for the Boilermakers playing with the lead like this, is they're able to get into their offensive set and work through it and make good use of the shot clock.
Harper sinks the 3. Ellis trying to drive to that left side. Kicks it out. Here's the 3. Bang! From the corner. So Purdue, here's the 3. Just off front iron. Good offensive rebound. Puts it up, and the foul. 3-point play.
The freshman doing it on both ends of the floor. The defensive rebound. Back-to-back buckets for the Redhawks were on the other end. The Boilermakers are 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Looking to change that now. Gets the foul and 1.
Layden said, I'll see your scoring drought now raise you. A nice little kiss off the glass there.
So now, there's Terry again for 3. Got it. Madison Layden, another 3.
13 points to go along with 4 rebounds.
And now she pulls a steal, and here comes Purdue for 3. Ellis, got it. Nothing but nylon.
The Redhawks continue to struggle from the floor.
Stevenson looking for 3. Got it. Gave Madison Layden too much space.
SEMO putting together their best offensive setup of the evening.
And give Terry the ball back out to Harper. And now for 3, they knock it down again. Madison Layden. Mid-range 2, no good. Terry pulls down the rebound again. Good feed up to Stevenson, who goes up strong. And it's a rebound and assist for Terry, and 2 more for Stevenson.
Yeah, Jalea Green went right at Mary Ashley.
95.3 Bob FM.
Purdue Global is Purdue's accredited and affordable online solution for working adults. Persistence pays off at Purdue Global. We're back at walk-ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, joined by Lakan Hasser-Smith. She is the director of video. She wears a lot of different hats. One of the hats that she wears, though, is mom, because you have a little one who's about 3 years old. And Christmas is 2 weeks from today, so how excited is your little guy about Christmas?
Oh, I shouldn't have put the gifts out yet. He's already trying to get in them. So he's super excited.
And I bet Mom is just excited to see him on Christmas Day, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Looking forward to it.
All right, I asked Coach Gearlds in the last segment, and you were a player for her, and a standout here at McCutcheon, played at Marion. You've been now in the coaching side of things. Was it harder to get over a tough loss as a player or as a coach for you?
I'm going to say a player, just because I don't know. I would definitely say just a player, just because I just felt like it hit so much differently, because you're actually like really out there and you have, you know, you're part of what's going on and you can make a difference. So I'm definitely going to go with the player. Let
me flip that script, though. When you have a great win, is there more elation as a player, as a coach, or is it an equal thing?
I think it's an equal thing for sure. As a player, you know, you're excited for, you know, your teammates, and then as on the coaching side, you're also just excited for the team and everyone's success.
What's the hardest thing as you transition from being a player to a coach? Sometimes especially when you're young, you know, you have to. There's a little bit of a line that you have to draw between players and coaches. What for you has been or is the toughest transition?
I would just say probably. So when I was done, like at Marion, playing and then going on to the coaching side, just you know, having the difference of like, okay, well, these players now that I played with, now need to understand, like, the role for me is a little bit different. So I just, that was just probably the biggest thing to get used to.
And as a player, sometimes, especially after maybe a tough game or you're not playing well or had a bad practice, you're waiting for that coach to come in. And as Coach had to do yesterday, kind of light things up. Now the script has flipped. You're on the other side. Is that a difficult thing for you sometimes when you have to be, I don't know if authoritarian is the right word, but, sometimes coaches have to lay down the law.
Right. Definitely not like something that I don't think any coach really, wants to do. I think the biggest thing, like for me on that side, I just would like to try to keep them, motivated and kind of just keep their head, level and just kind of give them whatever they need to hear to keep going and push through.
We talked a little bit about this, I think, last year when you were on the show, but as the director of video, technology has changed things so much. When we're on the plane flying home yesterday from Minneapolis, what's ready to go at that point already, not just from that game, but maybe for the next game?
So basically, yes, technology is constantly changing. So we're able to kind of just already give them the game that just happened. Coaches are basically able to just start clipping, rewatching that game, clipping things that we need to get better at, and then also, like, if we're going to go ahead and start preparing for the next game, we're able to just kind of look ahead. So it's very nice how technology has grown.
We're talking with Lakan Hasser-Smith. We're going to have more with her after this break. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Layden over to Smith. Mary Ashley Stevenson from the outside knocks it down and gets one to go after missing her first three from outside, with a freshman, Ayanna Johnson, checking into the game. Higher now switches on to Caitlin Harper. Backdoor cut. Ellis finishes at the rim. Nice job from her moving without the basketball. Find Janae Terry on the backside. Entry pass is tipped, and Harper corrals it falling down. Gets the pass off. Backside corner, Layden fires and knocks down a three. Entry pass to Harper, off her hands once again. Can't corral it. Fires it outside, and another one goes down. Madison Layden came with 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're looking just to get on level terms here, down 3, 31-28, 6 minutes left. As Madison Layden drills that one from mid-range, and it's just a 1-point game. Janae Terry over to Madison Layden. That stroke is pure. She hits another one, her third three of the second half.
Getting the energy from this home crowd is so important, especially in these close Big Ten games.
Layden answers that one with a triple and says, yeah, let's make it a little bit quieter in here. This second half, 16 points and 4 triples from beyond. Layden over to Smith, Terry with it. Backdoor cut, not to her, Harper with it. Terry gets a screen, pulls it from deep. At the buzzer, she knocks down a three, and that'll do it for the third quarter of action. Janae Terry always want and need to score, but she says, whenever my shot's there, I'm gonna take it. Good defense all game, very tight guard. Graholski gets the move, defender slips inside, blocked. Good defense from Caitlin Harper. Terry, 6 seconds on the shot clock, attacking, inside, kicks it out. Mary Ashley Stevenson, mid-range jumper, got it. They needed that one, and it's back to a one-possession game.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Time for our Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student-athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler-made. Leisha Petrie continues to fill the basket in Finland. She played Saturday night in an 84-63 win, had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple of steals. Her team now 4-7. Aya Traore in Spain had 12 points and 8 rebounds, but her team was beaten 81-56 and is now 3-5. And Ariana Harris, also playing in Spain, 6 points, 9 rebounds, and an 83-40 loss. Her team's struggling right now at 2-8. To play college basketball, to play professional basketball, you have to really love the game. When did you realize that you really loved basketball?
I think it was back in like 3rd grade, honestly. I played a little like 3-on-3 tournament. it was like mixed with girls and boys. So I think right then was when I just knew like this is the game that I want to be playing.
And when did you realize not only did you really like playing it, but you were pretty good at it and maybe could go to that next level to play at the college level?
I think I got more serious in high school. I also was really big on playing softball, but about my sophomore year, I was like, okay, I need to kind of decide which one I really want to focus on, and I think it was basketball for me. So
it really is hard, and there are a lot of different theories about this. Some people think you should specialize in one sport. Others think it's better to play a lot of different sports. How hard was it for you to give up one sport for another at that point?
Honestly, it wasn't that hard. I think I actually really did enjoy playing basketball more, so I was pretty much set on that anyways.
You know, we were talking with Coach Gearlds before about final exam schedule and the fact that you've got to try to balance getting the final exams in and getting practice in. As a student athlete, having just gone through that not too long ago, how difficult was that at this time of the year?
I think the biggest thing is for student athletes to just basically be as organized and stay on top of all their stuff as much as they can. If you can do that, then, and stay focused on playing your sport as well and getting in the gym and working hard, I don't think it's, really that difficult.
Did you find refuge in those situations on the basketball court? Let's say you either just had a tough exam or you had a tough one coming up. When you get between the lines and all of a sudden you can kind of take that out of your mind and just play hoops?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when you're able to just kind of escape when you get out there on the basketball court and just not forget about everything and just worry about the game.
Well, let's get a couple of wins so you have plenty of time to make some cookies and leave the milk out for Santa Claus, and I'm sure it's going to be a happy household on Christmas Day.
Oh yes, looking forward to it.
All right, thanks for joining us
Thank
tonight.
you.
We'll have the head coach back in a couple of minutes. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
8-zip for the Crimson Tide, who lost in the Sweet 16 to San Diego State last year. Trey Kaufman-Renn hoists up a three, and there is the first Purdue bucket.
That's a big one there for Trey Kaufman. Threes, 2-0 but the bottom of the net.
There's a three for Lance Jones, and a foul!
Those are two perfect examples of that.
Edey got the screen, little flip from Smith, and it is two and a foul.
And this is kind of a new dynamic to this offense this season. Getting Edey in pick and roll with the way Braden Smith has played.
Tell you what, even the on-ball defense of Estrada. There's the lob, and there is Big Maple. And Purdue invites that type of shot.
No doubt.
There's the zip, and there's Edey the flush.
He just overwhelms you. You got who was the champion on the offensive glass, but that's kind of shifting over to Purdue.
Well, they tried to front Edey, and that was not a grand idea. We might hit triple digits in this ball game.
Good pass.
Jones and Edey. Smith dancing behind Edey. Smith pull up. That's pass.
He just took his time. Jones to the basketball, and Sears got a high-quality look.
Edey through two with an elbow and two.
This is just an incredible pass by Braden Smith. That little over the shoulder. Purdue puts you in a bind because of the way they shoot the basketball. And with Zach Edey rolling right down the middle of the lane.
So they're going to call it a three. Let's see if it stands. It's close. Off the Sears three. Smith hurrying down the lane. Bouncing for Edey in the wingspan. Eats it alive.
It's okay.
It's Braden Smith. Oh, he gave up the shot he took earlier, and Edey closes the deal.
Braden Smith making the perfect read on this play. Edey gets some contact.
You're listening to the Katie Gearlds Show on 95.3 Bob FM.
Everyone needs a little playing time, so before a Purdue basketball game or anytime throughout the week, stop by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Great to have our regulars out tonight. Great to have Brianne with us from Ball State, just finishing up her first semester, taking advantage of the fine food here at Walk-Ons.
Love it.
Now, we're talking about from a coaching standpoint, trying to get the players through final exams. You've been through that before. How tough was it in this last week of December, or the last couple of weeks here, to get through not only important basketball games, but to get those final exams done?
Yeah, a lot of late nights, obviously. Crunching, studying late, getting up early. A lot of online stuff these days. I don't quite understand all that stuff. I saw Rashunda, and she was like, I've got one class today, or I've got one final, and it's online. I'm like, what? It took 4 or 5 every semester. Just
we didn't have these cell phones either. We
sure
were
didn't.
lucky to have electricity.
You're right.
I
I got my first cell phone my freshman year of college.
Yeah. Katie, I remember the day somebody brought a handheld calculator in my elementary school, and we thought that the world had turned upside down.
Yeah.
So, and of course, as little boys, you can spell out naughty words with them.
Yeah, of course.
That was the greatest thing in the world. You're looking at the AP Top 25 that came out today. You're playing 5 of those teams that are in the Top 25. You either have played or will play them. UCLA number 2. We know how good they are. Iowa's at number 4. Ohio State's at number 12. Notre Dame, the team we play this week, is 14, and Indiana 15. So you have an opportunity here going through the stretch to get that RPI up and get some chances to win against some quality teams.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, obviously, if we talk NCAA tournament, we have to. But right now, like, the NCAA tournament obviously can be on our mind. We can talk about it, but like it's got to be every single day, just like us getting better, and then trying to win the game at hand.
Penn State, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Michigan State all received votes, and I think we're starting to see now. Everybody in the Big Ten has lost at least one game overall, but you got a lot of compression, and it looks like it's going to be another jockey for those. I think the top 3 teams, we think Iowa, we think Indiana, Ohio State might separate themselves, but there's a lot of cluster of teams down below that, and it's going to be a great race to the finish.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, and I think the way the schedule has been planned out, I think February is going to be a really fun month for Big Ten women's basketball fans. And it's going to be wild. I mean, look at what Michigan did at Illinois yesterday on the road, just 84-48, just something you never really saw coming. I think it's just going to be one of those years.
And that was just a few days after Toledo had taken Michigan to the woodshed up in Toledo.
Yeah, something probably something clicked with KBA, and she lit a fire in her kids, and they came out balling.
Well, it really also goes back to the whole thing. You got to be able in this league to protect your home court, because the road wins are going to be difficult. We saw that yesterday, but you got to be able to protect your home court.
Yeah, we're going to play some really good teams at home, so we hope that we can get Mackey filled and just feed off their energy.
I asked Lakan about holiday shopping. Are you done with now getting ready for the holidays?
I actually went to the store today, and it was a terrible idea. I walked out. I wasn't in no mood to do any kind of shopping.
See, now that's why they have these. They have these computers now. You can do all that stuff online. You know that, right?
Yeah, because I have all the time in the world to do that. Amazon might be my best friend here in the next couple days.
Overall, though, let's look at taking the big picture where we are in the middle of December. Are you where you thought, taking the record out, are you where you thought you would be with this basketball team?
I think we're further along defensively than I thought we'd be, not where we need to be offensively. And we keep talking about as a group, like, one of these days it's just going to click. It's just going to click. But we just took too many dry spells, too many stagnant moments, and I was talking to the group down there. I've got to be a better teacher. I've got to be a better coach to make sure those moments are few.
And it's got to be frustrating, I think, too, sometimes for somebody who played with great confidence, as you did. You can inject a lot of things into a player, but sometimes the confidence has to come from within.
Yeah, and it's just reps. It's being more confident and getting a gym. And a firm believer, like, I don't care how you shoot it, what it looks like. If you get in a gym and you see the ball go through the net, what that does. And our group has bought into it. Just we've got to find it, and hopefully we find it sooner rather than later.
All right, we've got one more segment, final segment of the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, coming up on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Purdue on the perimeter now. Terry driving a little bit. Kicks out for 3. Got it. McKenna Layden with the 3.
And this is the benefit for the Boilermakers playing with a lead like this, is they're able to get into their offensive set and work through it and make good use of the shot clock.
Harper sinks the 3. Ellis trying to drive to that left side. Kicks it out. Here's the 3. Bang. From the corner. So Purdue, here's the 3. Just off front iron. Good offensive rebound. Puts it up, and the foul. 3-point play.
The freshman doing it on both ends of the floor. The defensive rebound. Back-to-back buckets for the Red Hawks were on the other end. The Boilermakers are 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored in the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Looking to change that now. Gets the foul and one.
Layden said, I'll see your scoring drought now raise you. A nice little kiss off the glass there.
So now, here's Terry again for 3. Got it. Madison Layden, another 3.
13 points to go along with 4 rebounds.
And now she pulls a steal, and here comes Purdue for 3. Ellis, got it. Nothing but nylon.
The Red Hawks continue to struggle from the floor.
Stevenson looking for 3. Got it. Gave Madison Layden too much space.
SEMO putting together their best offensive setup of the evening.
And give Terry the ball back out to Harper. And now for 3, they knock it down again. Madison Layden. Mid-range 2, no good. Terry pulls down the rebound again. Good feed up to Stevenson, who goes up strong. And it's a rebound and assist for Terry, and 2 more for Stevenson.
Yeah, Jalea Green went right at Mary Ashley.
This week's game plan is presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, home of the official credit union for Purdue fans. Learn more about their products and services at PurdueFed.com. Next game coming up against Notre Dame. First things first, I think we have to give you credit for getting that series restarted. For a while, the Boilermakers and the Fighting Irish did not play, and now they're going to get back on the court. It's going to be a special day up there in South Bend on Sunday because they're dedicating the statue to Muffet McGraw, so I'm sure they're going to have a big crowd and they're going to be ready to go.
Yeah, we expect a really cool, fun environment. I think Neil and I had talked, in the recruiting road, and then got a text from Carol Owen saying they were ready to do it. So let's get it started. Obviously, a really, really good ball club, and it's going to be packed. But we're going to do our best to put a game plan together and go up there, and I expect nothing less than us to compete for 40 minutes.
You're talking about scheduling philosophy, too, because, your Big Ten schedule is set for you. You've got to get enough games in your non-conference schedule that will help you in RPI, but you also, again, have to make sure you have games that you're going to be able to win along the way, too.
Yeah, it's a unique challenge. I'm glad Kelly Kamara is in charge of all that stuff, but, she's done it for all the stops she's been, and, I think even looking into next year, our non-conference is going to be challenging, but put together the right way for our team.
Well, and again, you got a team that's getting a lot of experience. You got a lot of newcomers trying to get inculcated into this lineup, and again, that experience can only help them down the road starting next season.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea here, but you don't want to lose sight on what we have in front of us. $9.99 for you on Sunday. Looking forward to the 1,000th one next week, but. I'd be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to you and your Bills. Ira, Green Bay Packers.
No, we have like 54 seconds left in the show.
Strategically planned.
I did not say a thing about it.
Congratulations, Ira. I think you gave me a shout out last week after the Packers beat us. We got to catch the ball.
Well, I'll just say this: the Bills went to 7-6 yesterday. We're not throwing a confetti parade at all at this point. It should be a lot better than they are. All right, I know this was a tough loss yesterday, but we know you're going to bounce back, and nothing would be better than to kind of spoil the occasion on Sunday up in South Bend.
I think I've got an associate head coach that would really, really love that.
All right, we'll talk to you on Sunday.
All right.
I want to thank Wes Scott, our on-site engineer, Roger Forsyth, our producer. Video provided by the Corey Palm Experience tonight. We thank them for being here. Don't forget, we'll be back here next Monday night at 7:10. It'll be the last show of 2023. For Lakan and for the head coach, I'm Tim Newton. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time right here on the Katie Gearlds Show.